Well, Cristina Alfonsín is an art historian and the collections manager for the Rothschild Foundation. She joins us now from Pontevedra in Spain. Thanks so much for being with us, Cristina. First, before we talk about the regulation, I have to ask about that painting. Can you ever get that back now, or is that paint on those two attempts just too thick and it's been destroyed for good?
Well, it is definitely damaged. It is very difficult. I am not a conservator by training, but it is very difficult to recover a work of art once it's been altered that way. I'm sure that there will be conservation work that could achieve an excellent result, and conservators are the best people to consult and to engage for this kind of work. But it looks to me that remedial work would be very difficult to restore the painting to its original condition.
Okay, and that's why art historians and members of the art community in Spain are calling for stricter regulations for art restoration. I mean, do you think that's justified, especially since some of these pieces, like this one, are privately owned? So, I mean, should it be at the owner's discretion then to take care of it? Or should it become, in a sense, something that is public property and should be protected, even if it's in private hands?
I think there are two things here. So the first part of your question, I think that we need to develop a culture of professionalism about the conservation profession, which is what often lacks. People will engage people who are not trained, who don't have the required qualifications and expertise and specialized training to undertake this work. And a way of enforcing that is by increasing regulation and making people understand that conservation is a specialized discipline like any other profession. So it is very important that steps like this are taken. This is not the first time that it happens. And institutions in Spain, like the ACRE, the Professional Association of Restorers and Conservators, are very keen that this is a matter that is taken seriously, and also bodies in the UK like ICON, the Institute of Conservation, which are the bodies that private collectors should address and should refer to check which professionals are registered and accredited to undertake this kind of work, because like museums, private collectors and owners of works of art and heritage, in my opinion, have an obligation to safeguard and look after heritage for the future.
Because you mentioned it's not the first time this has happened. When have you seen this before in a way that was this disturbing?
Well, we have the recent case in Spain of the Equiomo de Fresco in Borja, in the church in Borja, where the work was commissioned to a person who didn't have the qualifications and necessary training, and it caused, of course, incredible damage to the original work, and it is part of the choosing and selecting the right person and referring to the accredited bodies is part of the due diligence that we should do. There you have an image of that example that I just mentioned. And due diligence is an important duty not only for museums and heritage bodies and historic houses, but also for individuals who own and who collect works of art. And that applies to a historic work and a modern work of art. The duty doesn't stop with the purchasing and acquisition. It's something that should be carried out through the life of the work. To preserve it for the future is part of our, we are custodians and safeguarders rather than owners. And but it is important that we emphasize that we need to develop that culture of professionalism about conservation. And the same way that you wouldn't take a watch or a clock to a car repairer, a painting or a frame or a piece of furniture or a piece of ceramics should follow the same process.
Okay. Cristina Alfonsín, thank you so much for joining us there. We appreciate it.